So judging by the really cool thumbnail picture, you are here to see a modular tape measure pouch thing. Keep saying that I want to do these impromptu build videos, and I don't do them. So today, we'll do one. Obviously, just getting into it. I don't have anything planned out to talk about. Just winging it. I like winging it. It's fun for me. Hopefully it's fun for you. If anybody is trying to learn how to sew, my suggestion would be do not take my advice. Maybe watch somebody else's videos for tips and tricks. I'm still considering myself to be a bit of a novice. I'm definitely still a novice. But I want to put some content out. So why not? So before I had started, I had like, I have a bunch of pieces prepped up, ready to go. You can only prep things up so far though, you know what I mean? So just kind of making the big pieces turn into some finished pieces, and then we'll start putting together the small guys and finish it up. Started out, everything's inside out. Kind of do this like it's a pillow. This is about to get flipped, and then we'll put a piece of foam in there. I had burnt these together because it's quicker for me to show things on camera. At least I figured. Quicker for me to show things on camera if I'm not using clips and stuff. Still not the best at this. But like I said, trying. Really important tool, somehow. It became a very important tool. Standard issue chopsticks from, I think this is from China Wok. If you're in my area, if you're in the Philly area, maybe give them a look. They have fairly decent Chinese food at really good prices. And they're super local to me. So thanks China Wok for the wonderful chopstick. Piece pretty much flipped. Ready to go. That's the bottom. That's the top. That's the foam. Hopefully I cut it well. I'll probably have to trim it. We'll see. Come on, sucker. These smaller pieces, like a big pouch, it's really easy to get a piece of foam into just right. This always takes a sec. Just to get things seated well. I want everything right up against that top edge. I don't want that to be like empty for like the last, quarter inch or the last 1/8 inch or nothing, you know what I mean? So we're going to get this in as tight as we can, and then we're going to zip up this bottom edge. This will be that part where everybody's like, I don't know if I want to watch this video. But this is how long it takes me to do it. Pretty good. Like I said, we'll need to trim the piece a little bit, but that's fine. pattern something out at 5, right? And then you turn it inside out, you sew it, it gets a little smaller, this and that. Continues to just get a little smaller with each move you make. You know what I mean? So I cut my foam at 5. I should have cut it maybe just a little short, obviously, you know what I mean? All right, so like I said, bottom, top. What's next? We'll work our way from the top down to the bottom. I have things pre-marked. Try to make it a bit more of an efficient video making process. Hopefully this is under, I don't know how long it should take. You know what I mean? Maybe a pro would probably build this in like 10 minutes. So for us, hopefully we're not here for like 40. But I'm gonna tack in the sides of this bad boy. And then spacing for the clip, I like at 1.25 inches. I mark it at 1.25 inches, and then I try to do the inside of that line, so it's like less than 1.25 inches. Also trying to make sure that all my tails on this thread are at the top, and that way when I clean this stuff up in a minute, everything will just be easy to find. Come on. I guess I'll give him a shout out just because I'm sitting here silent. I was just thinking, just doing this process. So I watch a guy, his name's John Willis, I believe is his last name. John, if you see this and I butchered your last name, I do apologize. I'm not trying to be like a jerk. But his advice is always clean up as you go. And I like that. It's been helpful for me. Super simple, you know, common sense kind of a thing. But, you know, later on, like this thing's only going to be so big. But there's going to be quite a few spots where there's thread popping out. You know what I mean? So, clean it up as I go, right? But either way, if you want to watch who I watch to get some advice from and things like that, John's a good resource. Where should I start? I'll start from this end. He's a good resource as far as like sewing. We'll call it man stuff. You know what I mean? He puts out these videos. He's got a really cool camera guy who's able to like kind of play around with them. I don't have that, so their videos are a little better than this, but I feel like I've been learning a lot just by watching him. He doesn't overly explain anything or anything like that, you know what I mean? You just kind of like watch a dude work. But like I said, it's been fairly helpful. So like I said, I have things pre-marked and just trying to make it a little bit more efficient. Each turn that I make, I'm just going over it, back, and then back over it again. And I figure this thing's going to be put through a lot of abuse. I know that, you know, mine, like I use one, I've had it for the past more than just a few months at this point. I've probably been messing with this for like 6 months now, and I've definitely put it through the test as far as whether or not it's going to hold up, and it holds up really well. So 1.5-inch webbing. I cut things to a specific length. I'm not going to bother going over that too much with this, but in between each piece of scuba webbing coming down to make that like lickety split pouch, I space it with a piece of 1-inch webbing. Now for a little bit, I was thinking like I'll make 3 sizes of this. I keep overshooting that. I'll make 3 sizes of this, but I think it's just going to be 2 sizes of this. Right now we're making the bigger one, better for like a 35 foot tape or a 25. Obviously you'd get a 30 in there, no problem, you know. But I don't think I'm going to make one specifically for like 35 and 30 and then have one just for 25 and then one just for 16. I think this actually is a good universal size. I do have a couple tapes set aside, and let me just, okay. I want both of these, the long ends, to be pointing to the center. That'll make sense in a minute. Forget where I was. Oh yeah, sizes. This is actually a pretty good universal size for really anything that you're going to be running. The 16 rattles around in there quite a bit, but everything else fits. Like I've tweaked this size out just to see if something would be better, and it's not. Just went right back to the OG one that I made. Seems to be the best fit. Alright, so all that stuff up top is going to get ran over with webbing, but that's going to make up the bulk of the build right there in itself. We're going to edge a couple things, and then hopefully take no more than just a minute or two after that, as long as I can find my what I'm looking for here. What is this? Binder attachment. Like I said, I'm no pro with this still. It's going to be a while longer before I consider myself good at this. This sometimes takes a little bit for me to get this in, but that went in really quick. So hopefully this second one goes in quick. They make other ones where there's just one, what are these called? Thumb screws to put in. I bought one and it doesn't seem to fit on this machine very well. Eventually, I'll get better equipment. Come on. And things will be a lot easier for me, hopefully. All right, I didn't waste too much time. It doesn't feel like I wasted too much time on that. If this is in shot, my buddy Paul, he 3D prints stuff. He's been making some cool stuff, man. So he recently hooked me up with this like modular wall. These are all like 9x9 panels that you can click together, and then there's little pieces that will aid in it, like being able to be screwed to a wall, whether it be plywood, drywall, something like that. Really cool. This isn't his design. This is something that he got off the internet. He searches around for just cool things to build and whatnot. I think he is saying that he's going to like work something out where he comes up with something like that. Looking forward to that. He really has. He's been making some cool stuff, man. I go a little slower where there's like thicker areas of webbing. This thing, like I said, it's not like, it's heavy duty enough of a machine to be able to like accomplish what I accomplish, but it's definitely what I would say is like somewhat undersized. Not even somewhat undersized. It's undersized. But just slow down coming up to it. Each like every time I go up, or even like in between these guys, like my thread right there, I just cut thread. I didn't cut through the thread, but I definitely need to mess with this a sec. I put out a video earlier today of me making like this simple little thing, this index card, and I was like, I need to look under this machine before I continue, and I didn't. And there is a couple parts underneath. I just need to look over it with like some sandpaper. The needle will like strike things underneath. It'll bend. I'm going over a lot of layers. Not necessarily a lot of layers, but the scuba webbing itself is very dense. Get through there. Thread. Scuba webbing's dense, and yeah, it's tough to deal with this machine. Right. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget to. I wasn't able to mark the center here. So this is 4.5 wide, and I bring these guys into the center on the proper side. I just marked the back. That would have been cool to completely ruin this on camera. So I put this in. That's the outside. Bam, bam. Like that. Can I accomplish this with that still on there? I bet I can. Right? Why do I keep thinking that I'm doing this wrong? Bam, we're going through that way. There we go. When I do these in like a top tape kind of a situation, I'll show you that in a sec. I got one hung up. I flip these under, but when I make this pouch, I keep them pointing down. So this will get tacked on, and then I will edge this. Let me load this up and then I'll show you what I was talking about. Come on. Good enough. So I'll flip that under and it'll have like a cradle. With this pouch, I just leave it, flipped down, and then I'm able to cover the bottom of this and the bottom of the front with some webbing, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. That wasn't put on perfectly straight. Not that that's too much of an issue. Come on. Making sure that needle's up when I'm playing like that. Each time, come on. All right, so before we close it up, usually I would go into the other room, go outside, something like that. I think I mentioned a minute ago that eventually I will have cool tools to do this a little better. We still caveman it up. There are other things to use for this. And there's definitely a better setting for this, i.e. with some like exhaust, things like that. But I figured for the purpose of making this as quick of a video as I can, that's the one I was looking for originally. So this thing's 5 long. I want this section to be 3.5. My ruler is about 1.5 inches wide. So from the top down 1.5 inches, we wind up at just about 3.5. That's kind of chintzy there. Come on. Crunch time. This stuff, like I said, it's rigid, just the 1 layer of webbing, adding 2 more layers of webbing, that's wrapped over. It's pretty stiff. So, little manipulating it at first. Should I take that off? I can probably do this without taking that off. This guy. Damn it. Messed up on camera. So I need to grab the tail before I mess around. I have to have some tension. And I just drop the needle with no tension and it winds up getting weird underneath. Something on my arm, some thread. Sorry for ruining the back end of this video, but it's okay to show the little mistakes and whatnot. I'm trying to, still unfamiliar territory for me, like showing the process, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's not like I'm some pro and I'm like thinking that I'm an authority on anything. Certainly not. Yeah, I'm doing bad things. Doing bad things. Thankfully, this one is not getting sold, because I would be very disappointed in myself for that. Alright, so this time, right after this video, I need to do a little tuning up. We need to look underneath this thing. Actually look underneath this thing this time. Of course, I'm paying penance because this was so easy to put on camera. And I always love saying one take or die on other videos in the past, so that's just what we're doing here. Yeah, skipped a few, man. Skipped a few coming through. Sorry about that. Toughest part. So that's really like what's happening is the tension of the piece actually pushing out. It's bending my needle. And usually I will take a little bit more time just kind of like setting this thing up. And I should have just done that in the beginning. You know what I mean? I'll freaking like hold this thing so tight, trying to keep it from doing that. But because I'm on camera, I'm trying to like rush through this, and I shouldn't rush through this just because I'm on camera. Really, I should do the opposite and make sure that each motion that I'm doing has a purpose because you're watching me. All right. Okay. Sorry for that last little bit there. Let me clean it up a bit. Stop breathing on the flame. Okay. Lickety split. Split down the middle. We need to install the clip. This is always a fun part. You'll probably hear me grunt a bit. I make this tight. I mean, you know, I'm making it tight to get in there on purpose. So it's not going to fall out. Sometimes I'm like, man, I freaking did that so tight. And I'll be fighting with it for like a minute, getting them in. This will go in a sec. There you go. Clean that up a little better. Oh yeah, that was the side where I had some skip stitches. That's why it's looking like crap there. Clip on. Lickety split. Real easy grab. Real easy grab for you. Like I said, on top tape, I'll flip this under and I'm able to get that really high on the pouch. You have more room for your speed square, things like that. Functions very well. I set these aside real quick just to demonstrate for after I'm done. So like I said, rattles around 16. 25 fits in there really good. But like I said, these two, I sized down just a little bit to fit them very well. And this is more of like the 35 to 30 range. Fits the 35 in there just beautifully, absolutely beautifully. And then like I said, same deal with 30. I just don't have a 30. And there's really no reason, I don't feel like there's a reason for me personally to carry a 30, so I just won't be buying one. But I'm sure you get the picture. You know what I mean? You if you were to want something like this, hit me up on Instagram. I would need, you know, for one that didn't have skip stitches all over this side, I would need like 45 bucks. So we'll say 50 shipped. If you're interested in something like this, hit me up on Instagram, like I said. So really, the reason why I'm making these small pieces today is because I have a guy who just contacted me, who ordered a custom order, and he contacted me. He's like, "Yo, do you have any shipping info on that? It's been like a week and a half." And yesterday I was looking to see for his shipping info, and this never left my shop, right? So I figure I'll make this guy a couple items, get a hold of him on Instagram, and apologize profusely, and just be like, "Yo, really sorry about that. This shit wound up getting lost in translation. It's still at my shop. I'll make you a couple things." He wants everything all black, but he got a belt, pair of suspenders. He got some add-on items. So he's getting a couple more add-on items. But most notably, the cell phone case. I should do a video just on this. Maybe soon. I don't know if it'll be today, right? But I really like how this is put together. 2 pieces. You can, same deal, clip. You can rock it with without a lid, or with a lid, right? So what this does is it offers like some adjustment with height on the lid itself. If your phone's really tall, maybe there's some kind of like a OtterBox sized case. It just makes it much bigger than you would really like it to be, right? For like a normal cell phone case, you can mess around and you get like a fair field of adjustment with this. Now, it's a little finicky putting together, but there you go. That's adjusted to like max height. You know what I mean? It's pretty sizable. Me personally, I just rock it without the lid, and I use a certain size glue bottle, where this is actually for my glue bottle. I don't really mess around with the whole cell phone case thing, but people were asking for it, so I made one. I'll build one of them soon. For now, thanks. Thanks for checking out the video. Hit me up on Instagram once again if you want some type of a custom order. You want some kind of like a small thing, whatever it is. Hats are 30 each. He's also getting a hat. We actually make these by hand. 60 for the cell phone case. Comes in 2 pieces, with or without a lid. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmackety. Thanks for watching. Dude, if you see this video, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a hold of you in about 5 minutes. I'm going to explain what happened, and I'm going to show you what you're getting, because you're such a patient, awesome customer. As far as the rest of you, thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, all that. Thanks again. Later.